Good evening. I'm Rachel Bissett, President of the Winneconne Chapter of the National Honor Society. Welcome to the 2019 ceremony inducting new members and celebrating senior graduates. I have the honor of offering a special welcome to our school board members. Please stand and be recognized if you are in attendance. Thank you for sharing this special event with us. President of NHS, I am pleased to recognize and thank our district administrators in attendance. Please stand as your name is mentioned. Mrs. Peggy Larson, District Administrator, Mrs. Leah Mashad, High School Principal, and Mrs. Kathy Cady, Dean of Students. We appreciate the support you have given us throughout our schooling. Membership in Winneconne's NHS is based on more than just grades. National Honor Society members must demonstrate 4 characteristics in order to earn an invitation. Scholarship, yes, but also leadership, character, and service. At this time, our NHS Vice President, Cindy Hall, NHS Secretary, Riley Asian, NHS Treasurer, Isabella Goland, Rudy Liljeberg, NHS Historian, who could not be with us at this evening, and I will comment on these criteria as we begin the candle lighting ceremony.
Scholarship. All Winneconne members must maintain a cumulative GPA of 3.5 or higher. However, true scholarship does not necessarily mean only the acquisition of high marks in classwork. Rather, it is really the development of a desire to be thorough. It is the creation of a love of accuracy, and above all, it is the growth of discernment and choice between fact and theory. Mere book learning is not enough. Our world needs wisdom as well as knowledge, and scholarship is the first essential to progress. Knowledge does not stop at graduation. Every person must learn from every experience, and mental growth must never cease. I light the first candle to represent scholarship.
Character. Character is the positive force in each person which makes an individual distinguished from all others. It is this force of character which guides us through life, responding with heroism, understanding, sympathy, or tolerance to the demands upon us. It is an achievement, not an inheritance. It is a daily striving of self-discipline so that choices are based on morality and decency, and not upon self-interest or opportunism. We must really live the way we wish others to perceive us. A sound and good character is the foundation for leadership, scholarship, and service. I light this candle in honor of good character.
Leadership. According to the Webster's Dictionary, leadership, simply stated, is the capacity to lead. Leadership requires a combination of charisma and wisdom. It is the inspirational influence that comes with constantly holding high ideals with the willingness to yield one's personal interest to the interest of the whole group. To lead affords the opportunity to do the work of many because much more can be achieved by the efforts of a group than through the work of only one individual. Leadership evolves from altruism, faithful and unselfish guidance, strong and noble character, courage, and an educated mind. I light this candle to represent leadership.
Service, a spirit of unselfish initiative and a desire to improve the things around us, are the essence of service. The Winneconne chapter of NHS requires a minimum number of community service hours for its members. Sophomores must have 36 hours, juniors need 54 hours, and seniors must accumulate at least 72 hours. Most students surpass these minimums. Time and time again, it has been proven that the more a person does to help others and to improve the surrounding community, the more that person will get out of the service. I light this candle in honor of service. Scholarship, leadership, character, and service. All are a part of the ideal that each National Honor Society member strives to uphold. If you are here tonight, you have had a part in helping us achieve this ideal. We thank you for your part in making us the people we have become. At this time, we also wish to thank the NHS Advisory Committee and our teachers for their guidance and their presence tonight, as well as delicious desserts. We also thank the district custodians and Mr. Tim Phillips for all the work they do to help us get ready for this event. Most importantly, we thank all our parents and families for supporting all our educational endeavors. Our achievements honor you. At this time, NHS Treasurer Isabella Goland and I will introduce the sophomore inductees into the Winneconne National Honor Society.
Would the sophomore candidates please come forward and line up alphabetically by last name? We had asked the sophomore and junior inductees to create 6-word memoirs that were meant to describe their life stories in exactly 6 words. These memoirs will be shared as each member is inducted. We hope you enjoy them. You have all met the obligations for becoming members of the National Honor Society. As I call your name, please come forward and receive your membership certificate from Rachel. You will sign the membership book after you exit the stage. Audience, we ask that you hold your applause until the sophomore members have been introduced. Alyssa Bain. Face yourself, speak yourself, love yourself. Sydney Brahman. I study the best with chocolate. Kennedy Breeler. Yes, my hair is this curly. Allison View. I love running. My asthma doesn't. Gavin Cannell. Creativity isn't defined by 6 words. Logan Daco. My face is probably really red. Carter Danke. You should know I'm always right. Madeline Erdman. The best is yet to come. Anna Farney. Me? Overthink things? I would never. Ruby Pizza. If there's ice cream, I'm there. Logan Fink. Practice makes good habits, not perfection. Marin Geiger. Coffee will always be my friend. Madeline Grattan. 6-word memoirs stress me out. Chloe Hansen. Catch me quoting The Office daily. Grant Harrison. Fresh and we ain't taking Subway. Abigail Heckel. I like cross, tea, and coffee. Dane Jacobson. Oh, I'm sorry. It is a feast. We all stay eating. Khaled Jensen. It is almost summer. Can't wait. Emily Johnson. I can't think of anything good. Rebecca Kinderman. I tend to talk too much. Megan Kleinhans. I can't go. I have practice. Tyler Cook. I'd rather be golfing right now. Dane Kutnick. Sports and school consume my life. Brendan Lather. There's always something new to learn. Ella Lokitas. Life's a story. I'm still writing. Abigail Marks. My friends make me smile every day. Michael Matusik. Free cheese only comes in traps. Evan Miller. Always living life on the edge. Mary Morowski. I play basketball in the summer. Paige Nicodem. Honestly, all I do is twirl. Samuel Novinska. All my memoirs were 7 words. Bella Nygaard. What is yours will find you. Autumn Pamprin. There is no cure for curiosity. Eva Piepenberg. You don't know unless you try. Reed Peterson. A better future is built by many. Ashley Roth. Giving up isn't what I do. Abby Rudinger. I like horses and some people. Jedediah Slosher. Hey Jed, what color is that? Such Dell. Good sports, good grades, good life. Connor Schoen. Hard work leads to great success. Jonathan Trachty. Physics is fun, they said. Liars. John Barrett Jr. I'm a Notre Dame enthusiast. Morgan Betty. Live a little, love a lot. Chloe Wires. Don't let other people make you. Mason Wazinski. I'm always just gonna send it. Evan Wiedemeyer. I am just gonna send it. Peyton Wright. So glad my brother is graduating. Congratulations, sophomores. Please continue the leadership, scholarship, service, and character that has qualified you for membership this year. NHS Vice President Cindy Hall and Secretary Riley Asian will now introduce our junior members.
Would the junior inductees please come forward and line up alphabetically? As Isabella mentioned earlier, we had asked the sophomore and junior inductees to create a 6-word memoir that was meant to describe their life stories in exactly 6 words. These memoirs will be shared as each member is inducted. Juniors, you have met the criteria for inclusion in the National Honor Society. As I call your name, please come forward and receive your membership certificate. Riley will then present you with your membership certificate or pin. You will sign the membership book after you exit the stage. Audience, please hold your applause until all junior members have been introduced. Sydney Asian. Life is uncertain. Eat dessert first. Trent Bannock. Service others and reward will come. Breely Billman. Don't stress about the little things. Jonathan Bainline. Yep, still working, eating, playing, napping. Brooke Brewer. Take me to the sea, please. Evelyn Brzezowski. Dogs are friends sent from God. Emma Collins. True smiles are the best smiles. Liliana DeYoung. Talented at making any conversation awkward. Tierney Eckert. Don't be so hard on yourself. Morgan Fenrick. Life is too short to wait. Brooke Flunker. My curls aren't a petting zoo. Emily Frederick. The future is where I'm going. Claire Gentry. Don't count days, make days count. Lindsay Glady. Dreams don't work unless you do. Graham Goland. Life is unpredictable, just like golf shots. Isabella Goland. Life is not a trial run. Mackenzie Gonner. Sounded much better in my head. Robert Gray. My guy Trenton pole vaults high. Trenton Handsetter. My boy Rob's a good golfer. Autumn Hunter. I laugh at my own jokes. Brianna Johnson. Dreams don't work unless you do. Senya Josephson. Wherever life plants you, bloom gracefully. Brianna Koval. The joy of doing just enough. Sydney Krieger. My dogs are cuter than yours. Sarah Lather. Commitment is a passion for excellence. Alyssa Nelson. French fries and ketchup are perfection. Brooke Nelson. Life is short. Buy the shoes. Carter Norton. Expect and accept unexpected and unaccepted. Morgan O'Connell. Wait, did someone say cows? Where? Alexandra Pascarella. Live each day as your last. Marianne Reindl. Crazy family, you've never met mine. Kate Riley. Don't grow up. It's a trap. Harrison Rubidoux. Hey, I made it back here. Amber Ryan. A puppy would relieve my stress. Morgan Selwichka. Creativity scares those who aren't creative. Drake Sheriff. Life is better when you're smiling. Eva Shaw. It's Amanda's birthday. We should sing. Amanda Stone. It's my birthday. Please don't sing. Brooke Vistain. Changing your thoughts changes your world. Austin Vonderloh. Tried music. Has passion ever since. Hannah Wilkinson. Why are you girls always laughing? Okay. Congratulations. Congratulations, juniors, as next year's senior NHS members continue the leadership, scholarship, service, and character that has earned you this honor. While the juniors are getting their picture taken, Mrs. Pepler and Mrs. Meyer, NHS advisors, will introduce our senior ceremony.
Good evening. We've had a very successful and busy year, and we would like to share with you some of the projects that our members worked on this year. Our first project was the Start With Hello project, which we ran a homecoming t-shirt sale to benefit the Start With Hello movement, which aims at fighting bullying and isolation in our schools. We raised almost $1,500 from this sale, along with a few other fundraisers. With the money raised, we donated playground balls and toys to the elementary school and middle school, with the idea that students would invite somebody new to play with them at recess and to encourage them to include everybody in their games. The remaining money will be used by the counselors in all 3 schools next year to do activities that work to fight bullying and isolation in our schools. We also were able to adopt a soldier, where we partnered with the fifth grade class and did a donation drive for items needed by troops overseas. We were able to send 17 boxes full of needed supplies to an Air Force base and an Army base in Afghanistan. We were able to help out our local police department, where we were able to make a dinner for them and provide it for them at their monthly meetings. We were able to do the same for the American Legion, and we were also able to be educated about the American Legion and brought that back to all of our freshman classes so they were aware of what the American Legion did for our community as well. And lastly, we worked on a very successful book drive where we were able to collect 11 boxes full of books throughout the community and throughout the high school, middle school, and elementary school and donate them to the Children's Hospital in Madison.
Before we get started with the senior speeches, we want to make sure and again thank Tim Phillips for helping us this evening and making sure the auditorium is amazing and it always looks beautiful. We were standing up here setting up earlier and Mrs. Pepler and I were talking about the tablecloth. Does it need to be ironed? And here comes Mr. Phillips around the corner with his steamer. So thank you so much for making everything always look so nice. Jerry Zamzow and the custodial staff for keeping our school clean and helping us set up this evening. Jim Melby and the FFA horticulture students for the amazing plant centerpieces. It's amazing to see something so green and beautiful when it's so gray and kind of gloomy outside. So Don Molitor and Bill Brunker and their art and tech ed students for the beautiful art displays in the lobby. And of course the teachers who have had a hand in shaping and helping these kids become the amazing individuals that they are, and for writing the senior speeches. And of course, again, to the parents who tirelessly support your kids and all that they do. At the conclusion of this year's speeches, we'll be announcing the NHS officers for the 2019-20 school year, so make sure to stick around for that. I would like to introduce our first senior speaker, Ms. Lisa Olson. And teachers, please remember when you get up here, I know everyone's a little nervous, but please remember to introduce yourselves.
Good evening, I'm Lisa Olson, English teacher here at Winneconne High School. MLA format requires size 12 times New Roman font, double spacing, and a page number with your last name in the upper right-hand corner. No, I'm not giving another boring MLA lecture. However, I am describing a future secondary English teacher who knows this rule by heart after many years of English class. Samantha Zander, could you please join me on stage? Samantha's been busy while in high school. And that's a bit of an understatement. In addition to NHS, Samantha has been involved in Key Club, Pro, Spanish Honor Society, Book Club, which is the best club, Forensics, Academic Decathlon, Academic Bowl, and the GSA. She's volunteered her time at the Oshkosh Humane Society, participated in Youth Frontiers as a small group leader, was a DARE role model, and completed a multitude of service projects in school clubs. Samantha also volunteered during the summer school program at the elementary school. Clearly destined for a career as an English teacher, Samantha earned 3rd place in essay and 2nd in English at Academic Decathlon Regionals. Through all of her experiences while in high school, Samantha has learned many things. Most importantly, her advice to other students is to enjoy high school. You might think that it's boring and difficult, but it goes by so quickly. Things aren't as bad as they seem, just enjoy the ride. Samantha claims that her greatest life accomplishment of catching a baseball at a Brewer game might mean she's already peaked, but I highly doubt it. Samantha wants to leave her mark on the world by doing something meaningful that helps others. According to Samantha, and I quote, "I'm not exactly the right material to be a doctor, firefighter, or police officer, so it's been a challenge. I think that being a teacher is probably one of the most important jobs, even though it's not necessarily as glamorous, and I hope to be able to help future generations to gain the skills they need to be successful. Good teachers are truly a gift, and I've been beyond lucky to have met so many here in Winneconne," end quote. I think many of your teachers would say how lucky they've been to have you as a student. Samantha will always remember the moment when she checked skyward after finals her junior year and found out that she somehow passed pre-calc with an AB. It dawned on her that she might never have to take a math class ever again. According to Samantha, it was truly a magical experience, and she thinks about it frequently. I guess that means the math teachers in the room should be proud. The most influential person in her life so far has been her twin sister, Sydney. She has been by Samantha's side to support her literally since the day they were born, and according to Samantha, "I don't know how I'm going to survive college all alone for the first time in my life. She always makes me strive to be better, and she has definitely influenced me more than she ever knows. There's absolutely no one I'd rather have to share my life with, and I'm insanely lucky to have her around." Next year, Samantha is attending UW-Milwaukee to pursue a career in secondary English education. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing Samantha Zander and her parents, Bill and Jill Zander. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Corey Coonan, social studies teacher here at Winneconne High School. Would Autumn Brooke Klemp please come forward? Anyone that knows Autumn knows that she possesses a wonderful blend of a serious work ethic and a great sense of humor. And I think that would make her seriously funny. It is largely because of this work ethic that she is here tonight celebrating her NHS membership. Autumn has consistently been on high honor roll, is an academic letter winner, and was selected as a Badger Girls state representative. Along with NHS and Badger Girls, she was secretary of student council, Key Club treasurer, class secretary, and an avid member of the famous book club. Autumn also has volunteered countless hours with Sunday school and with her church's vacation Bible school. Some interesting aspects of Autumn that make her stand out and prove that she's funny. When asked how she could get her 15 minutes of fame, her reply was, "By eating the most Culver's kids meal in a single year." A little known fact about this young lady, whereas I may collect rubber ducks, Autumn apparently has an addiction to socks, and she has got a collection numbering approximately 300. Advice to future Winneconne students. Oh, I forgot I had these. That's my life. And I couldn't agree more with her advice. Always dress in layers. You never know if you're going to freeze or burn to death in this school. While I believe that Autumn has truly enjoyed her high school years, the phrase that she says best sums up her educational experience: how many days are left until graduation? Her favorite school lunch, Bosco sticks. If there was something she would do knowing that she could not fail, she'd travel the world and pursue a career in photography, which is pretty close to her bucket list item, which is traveling the world with the person she marries. Speaking of marriage, and some of you may already know this, Autumn is married, and it happened in our AP US History class. Her A-Push certified marriage to one, say the name? William Merritt Johnson is her funniest and most frightening moment in high school. Love for her A-Push husband may or may not be real, but her love for history is. Autumn will be attending Northern Michigan University, where she plans on majoring in history and education. This is a bit of a departure from her original third grade plans of becoming a professional ski jumper. Probably a great decision based on the fact that she's never been downhill skiing. Her proud parents are Aaron and Sherry Klent. Would you please stand? And would you all join me in congratulating Autumn Brooke Klent?
Hello, I am Chris Peters, 4th grade teacher at Winneconne Elementary and the boys and girls golf coach. This next individual is someone that I've known since basically middle school and actually have been mistakenly receiving mail intended for both him and his parents about the past 4 years. Bryce Peters, come on up. So before I forget, take this. This is good for one medal from last Friday's invite. I know I owe you one, maybe more than two, but that's good, so hang on to it. When Bryce looks back at his high school experience, golf will undoubtedly be at the center of all those memories. The accomplishment that Bryce is proudest of so far is when the golf team earned its first state golf berth his sophomore year. That was also the year that he happened to finish first team all-conference, and his contributions to the team's success that year couldn't be any more important, and in the 4 years that he's been on the varsity squad as well. He was the regional champion that year as well, and in addition to his numerous successes and accomplishments on the golf course, Bryce has also participated in pro, key club, book club, math club, student council, Youth Frontiers, and he's also served on the Wolves Golf Club board. Obviously, he's had no trouble being involved in activities and groups outside of the classroom. Bryce intends to leave his mark on the world by working as hard as he can and enjoying the simple moments in life and following all of his passions, which include golf, hunting, snowmobiling, traveling, and spending time with friends. I'm certain that he will also leave his mark on the world by continuing to perform kind acts for others and finding the bright spots in each and every day, things that he's all realized during his time in NHS and various other activities. Bryce's life philosophy can be summed up by the great Michael Scott, regional manager of the Scranton branch of Dunder Mifflin. I guess I've been working so hard, I forgot what it's like to be hardly working. I have not seen many students in my years of teaching and coaching that work as hard as Bryce does. In fact, his work ethic, and fully fused spine, if you didn't know, just like a recent Masters champion, would allow him to play golf professionally if he chose, which is something he said he would do if he knew he couldn't fail. His bucket list includes a visit to Bora Bora, Australia, and Paris, and his 15 minutes of fame will be earned by doing something stupid or clumsy and getting it on video. If you had a look at the Winneconne Boys Golf unofficial Instagram account, you might see that he's well on his way. Bryce will be attending Northern Michigan University for Business Management with the hopes of becoming a manager for a supply chain. His advice to future Winneconne students is to become involved and don't take time for granted because when it's gone, you're going to miss it. Get involved and go to extracurricular activities. In 10 years, he would like to be managing his own office and have received several awards and accomplished many achievements. He would also like to have a family and be enjoying life the best he can. Bryce has said that his parents have been the most influential people in his life, as they are directly responsible for who he is today, and without them, he has no clue where he would be. So would Mr. Doug Peters and Ms. Tammy Holmes please stand so that we may recognize both you and your son Bryce.
My name is Abby Schmidt, and I am the choir director here at Winneconne High School. Tonight, I have the honor of introducing Mr. Rudy Liljeberg, who could not be with us tonight, but we did want to honor his accomplishments. Rudy is a man of many talents. Some of the words that most come to mind when describing Rudy would be passionate, thoughtful, committed, and authentic. Passionate. If you've ever been to a performance here at Winneconne, you've seen Rudy's passion firsthand. He loves music deeply, and he loves sharing it with others. You can also feel Rudy's passion for learning whenever you talk to him. Looking for a new favorite artist, or just want to have a deep philosophical discussion? Talk to Rudy. Rudy also brings his passion to his involvement in school. Rudy has been a member of choir, jazz band, jazz choir, solo ensemble, madrigal, and musical theater. He's also involved in many other school groups such as Broken Pencils, Debate, and NHS, serving as the historian this year. Thoughtful. Rudy is a deep thinker. He can often be found researching and going down YouTube rabbit holes whenever his interest is sparked. Rudy is a very skilled writer and has had work chosen for publication in Perspectives, our conference magazine. Rudy is also very thoughtful of others. He has a heart for service and has done community service work with Rudy's Pantry, the Winneconne Area Assistance Center, Christine and Domestic Abuse Services, and the American Legion. Committed. Rudy gives his whole heart to everything he does. Rudy represented Winneconne at Badger Boys State. He has served on the Choir Council leadership team, is on the High Honor Roll, and is an academic letter winner. He is a letter winner for music and won the Gold Star Sophomore Honor for chorus. Rudy has shared his passion for composition by writing music for his jazz combo for solo and ensemble, and by arranging a piece that the concert choir will be performing at our May concert. Rudy was also a finalist for the very prestigious Presidential Scholars Program this year. Authentic. Rudy is 100% himself. He shares that the quote that sums up his life philosophy is live for today, plan for tomorrow, but never forget yesterday. His plans after graduation include attending UW-Fox Valley to study computer science and music with the intent to continue on to UW-Platteville or UW-Madison. His life accomplishment so far is breaking out of his shell and shares that some of his best memories were the first time he took a solo in jazz band and the first time someone complimented his performance after a concert. Advice that Rudy gives to future Winneconne students is get to know your teachers and counselors. They are your most valuable resource, both as teachers and friends. Rudy lists his dad, Bill Wagner, as one of the most influential people in his life, as he was the one who really pushed Rudy to pick up the guitar and kick-started his love for music. Rudy is an amazing young man. You will surely miss him here at WHS, but I know he will do great things wherever his journey leads. In Rudy's own words, he intends to leave his mark on the world with love and music. We wish you all the best, Rudy.
My name is Sarah Meyer. I am Winneconne High School counselor and NHS co-advisor, and wishing I used bigger font on my speech tonight, or had my glasses. Mr. Unan, if I could borrow those for a minute. The secret to the student's success is to fulfill all obligations. Always meet deadlines, even when life gets tough, because life will get tough. Just breathe and be thankful. Will Sarah Pascarella please come forward? Truer words could not be spoken. Just breathe and be thankful. That should do it. That's the full secret. Like, breathe, make it through every day. We all know there's lots more to that. For any of you who have ever been to my home, I like words painted on wood, you know, like inspirational sayings and things like that. So I decided that if I were to, you know, decorate your house, Sarah, these are the sayings that I would put on some wood around your house. So, words of advice from Sarah Pasquarella. This would have to be a big piece of wood, but eat some dirt in your lifetime. Maybe slide through it, maybe at a soccer game, but always come out smiling. You have to eat so much dirt in your life anyway. When you don't do your best, try harder. Be proud of what you learned from your failures. Be open to possibilities, and mostly care about those around you. If you go to Devil's Lake and decide to go hiking with your friends, make sure you get lost. Because it might be really frustrating, but you'll end up in laughter and it will all be worth it. That's a big piece too. Learn how to wakeboard. Sarah can probably teach you. When the weather is nice, get outside and feel that sun on your face. Be genuinely happy with those around you. Learn a language, or 2 or 3. Go to Costa Rica. Go parasailing in Florida, Clearwater Beach to be exact. Love all animals. Rescue an animal. Be proud of your academic achievements. That's what we're here to celebrate today. But be even prouder of maintaining supportive, meaningful relationships with friends and family along the way. Volunteer at a food pantry. Volunteer at a suicide prevention event. Sarah's going to miss some things about high school. Her friends, not just the number of friends, but what I really liked about what you had said about your friends is that not just like a lot of friends, but the true depth of those friendships that you have in high school, because those are fleeting and they don't last forever. So she will definitely miss that. This isn't on wood anymore in your house. Okay. The orange chicken at lunch. I remember Sarah telling me about the orange chicken at Panda Express like a couple years ago. And I cannot to this day drive past a Panda Express without thinking about you. So forever Panda Express, orange chicken. But, okay. Sarah and I share more than just our names, Sarah with an H, which is like the only way to spell it, and our love for animals. We share that as well. We have a shared experience, an experience that changed our story a little bit, that added to our lives. We navigated this together from 2 very different perspectives. Thank you for that. For your honesty, your presence, and your strength for hugging me back. I'm honored to be a part of your story. Your integrity and willingness to ask for help is something that I will always admire. Next year, Sarah will head off to UW River Falls to begin the pursuit of her dreams. In 10 years, Sarah hopes to be finished with vet school and be running her own small animal clinic. She hopes one day to discover something amazing in animal medicine. And I've already put in my application for Chief Puppy Face Squeezer and Chief Puppy Breath Smeller. So those are real jobs at vet offices. I've looked into it. So Sarah credits her parents, Dave and Michelle Pasquarella. If you could please stand. And if we could give them a round of applause. Sarah credits her parents for her success because they work hard, love their family, and always try to do what is right. Her life philosophy is from Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. In order to make a difference in someone's life, they have to have felt cared about. Thank you, Sarah, for making a difference in my life and in many others. Go get her, little lady. Be strong and amazing.
Reverse comment. All right, our next inductee is going to have a hard time up here tonight. Not because they don't like to be in front of a crowd or be the center of attention, that's not it. But instead the fact that they have to stand up here unable to provide a rebuttal or share their opinion. I don't think I've ever seen this person stand in front of a crowd for 3 minutes and not share an opinion. Any guesses? Caleb Booten, please join me on stage. Me too. audience. My name is Craig Van Camp, and I'm a math teacher here at the high school. Caleb is a non-traditional student in many ways, with a non-traditional educational background. Now, Caleb spent a semester at conserve school, an experience that shaped him, his work ethic, his love for the outdoors, and left him with many great memories. He also spent a year in Germany through an exchange program. Well, I won't be speaking German up here in front of you tonight, but you will hear me speaking Caleb's most fluent language from time to time, that being sarcasm. Caleb is truly an individual who lives by the mantra, question everything. I love that about him. I could elaborate on his attendance and active participation in school board meetings, our target reference grading meetings we held for parents last year. In everything Caleb does, he has this insatiable desire to, well, share his opinion. But beyond that, to be informed and be an active member, to make a positive change. Caleb's quote for a life philosophy: even if I knew that tomorrow the world would go to pieces, I would still plant my apple tree. Note the planting of the tree. Action for a better tomorrow without focus on the unknown future. That's awesome. Now, Caleb will be attending the University of Arkansas Little Rock next year for, hear this, a full ride, tuition, room and board, everything paid for, as part of a scholars program in economics. Please let him hear this, ladies and gentlemen. Not too much, though. You don't want to overfeed his ego. I once overheard, quote, Caleb, you have enough confidence for 2 people. I got to credit that to his friend Alex Wallace, and I still find that funny. So back to his acceptance as one of 23 members into the Scholars Program at Arkansas Little Rock. During his interview with the university to see if they thought he was a worthy candidate for this Scholars Program, Caleb and the people interviewing him got into a heated discussion with differing opinions on farm subsidies. My point, Caleb is likely the only student in history to get into an argument with the representatives of a college, and those representatives come back and offer the student a full ride. The truth is I've really enjoyed working with Caleb and getting to know Caleb these past 2 years. Nearly every morning you can find Caleb in my room at 7 a.m. This allowed us many hours to work on mathematics, but our conversations regularly went beyond the curriculum. He claims I've made a positive impact on his life. I'm here to say, you've done the same for me. And while my main focus, my teaching lens, is to continue to challenge Caleb with his academics, and rest assured, I will continue to challenge you this year. I now also view him as a good friend. So congratulations on all your accomplishments to this point. I look forward to hearing about the many more yet to come. I'm proud of you. And now if Mike and Janice Booten could please stand, and please join me in honoring Caleb and his parents.
Good evening. I'm Jenny Reese, elementary physical education teacher as well as the varsity softball coach. Eenie, Ween, Lefty, Grinch, Easter, Han. Just a few nicknames that our next inductee has been called by teammates throughout the years. Hannah Newman, please come forward. I taught Hannah back when she was in K2 physical education. However, our relationship has been built through our 8 years together on the softball diamond. It's only fitting that her life's accomplishment she feels most proud of is making it to the sectional finals game last season for softball. Plus, if Hannah could relive one moment from the past 18 years, it would be that sectional final heartbreaker where we lost to Denmark 8-7 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Even in defeat, that game was phenomenal, so I can't blame Hannah for wanting to relive it. Like many other NHS members, Hannah has been busy and involved. Some of those activities include volleyball, softball, NHS, Spanish Honor Society, Art Club, Book Club, Photography Club, Key Club, and Peers Reaching Out. In addition, she has completed community service by assisting with summer school, Jingle Book Bash, youth softball clinics, being a Spanish tutor, and working conceptions, plus she works for the Learning Center Daycare, which she truly enjoys. In the fall, Hannah will attend UW Oshkosh, majoring in early childhood education with plans to become a preschool teacher. Back when she was in preschool herself, Hannah had hopes of becoming a ballerina, but by grade school, she knew being a teacher is what she wanted to do. She intends to leave her mark on the world by making some of her 4- and 5-year-old geniuses as a preschool teacher.
good luck. Hannah's favorite school lunch is French Fry Monday. What she will miss most about school is seeing her friends every day, and her advice to Winnicott students would be, take advantage of the time you have because it goes by fast. Mistakes are proof that you are trying best describes her educational experience, and her most useful piece of information learned in school is doing things the day before it's due only works sometimes. Hannah's secret to success is if you act like you know what you're doing, people will believe you. I'm really trying hard to act like I'm comfortable up here. A quote to sum up her life philosophy is from Elvis Presley. When things go wrong, don't go with them. If Hannah knew she would not fail, she would run a marathon. Skydiving is on her bucket list. Hannah feels she would earn her 15 minutes of fame by making the best yearbook ever. Her funniest moment from school would be when she spelled her own name wrong on her presentation for the same class, not once, but twice. So I was wondering, was it your first or last name, and which letters did you mess up? First name, H-A-N-N-A-H, and backwards, H-A-N-N-A-H. Interesting. So, spelling might not be her thing, but I can attest her having quite the memory. One example, her sophomore year, our softball team had a team bonding dinner to start the season where they all shared middle names, and Hannah could still recall each one of her teammates' names at the end of the season. I was going to put you on the spot, but I better stick to the timeline, so I won't ask you to remember them 2 years later. The most influential person in her life is her dear friend, Evie Burns. Hannah stated, Evie has been through so much and never lets that bring her down. She is one of the strongest individuals she knows. I couldn't agree more, and Hannah, I'm glad you and Evie have such a strong bond. Hannah, I wish you the best of luck in everything you do going forward, and hope you continue your passions while working towards your goals. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing and congratulating Hannah Newman and her parents, Kevin and Jessica Newman.
My name is David Jerebick, and I direct the bands here at Winnicott High School. I've gotten to know our next honoree quite well for his participation in every single instrumental ensemble our school has ever offered. I just can't quite seem to shake him. Dakota Callis, will you come up here and let me embarrass you for a while? Cut time, hustle up, let's go. Dakota is a man of many talents, but I will start with the part of his life I know best, music. Mr. Callis here has been one of the most dedicated and hardworking students I have ever had the honor of teaching. He has been the foundation of our percussion section for 4 years and is someone I can always rely on to learn his music as well as help others. Dakota is a member of our concert band, marching band, pep band, pit orchestra, jazz ensemble, polka band, and leader of our drum line. He has arranged and transcribed sheet music for countless songs throughout his time in high school, and even composed a percussion duet that earned him and another student a first at State Soul Ensemble this past weekend. Technology is also a big part of Dakota's life, and he plans to major in computer science at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse next year. Computer programming, engineering, and information technology are all major interests and hobbies for him. If you've ever had the pleasure of stopping in and visiting Computer Corner in Oshkosh, there's a good chance that you would have seen this guy's smiling face there. He has earned numerous awards there over the years for his outstanding customer service and his exceptional sales record. His job there also reinforced his decision to study computer science next year and pursue a career in that field. The most influential person in his life is his mom. She taught him what's right from wrong and helped him through many challenges in his life. Dakota plans to make his mark on the world by paving the way for the next generation of innovators. He certainly made his mark here at Winnicott High School. From his custom-designed vinyl logo on our jazz drum set to 3D printing, he designed everything and printed a part to fix the snare drum. I couldn't find the part anywhere, so he did it in the CAD program and printed a part to fix it. And now he's currently working on restoring an old vibraphone, and it looks amazing, and I'm just so proud of him. Dakota's contributions to our school will last lifetimes and benefit countless future students. The biggest thing Dakota is going to miss about Winnicott next year is the community and the friendships he has made here. His advice to future students is to enjoy your time here while it lasts. You will miss it when it's over. Would you please join me in recognizing Dakota and his parents, Rob and Lisa Callis.
Hello, Troy Beadle. What's so funny about my name? I am the high school fire teacher here and the varsity basketball coach. I just want to start off by saying, what a great night this is. What you've all accomplished is extremely impressive. The next inductee has had a ton of success in the playing field and the classroom, but tonight is the most proud I've been of this young man. I would like to invite my fifth favorite Borowski to please join me on the stage, Mr. Greg Borowski.
I'm kind of glad you're the one talking because it would have been pretty awkward.
Oh, come on. So for those of you that can't see, he has an and one tattoo on his arm. I don't know why I want to get that tattoo. Well, Greg likes to refer to me as Dad. Every time I see him in the hallway, hey Dad. I'm thinking this is mainly because I'm constantly on him. Could be that or my increasing or decreasing hairline. The gray hairs, which he's responsible for many of, or my infamous dad bod that he reminds me of every day. Sounds like he's jealous. Greg is like a son though. There's been multiple times where I wanted to grab him, hug him, because I'm so proud of him. There's also been multiple times where I wanted to smack him in the head and ask him what's wrong with him. Most parents know what that's like. We have shared many laughs together, and yes, also a few tears. Greg has had the pleasure of playing basketball for me the last 4 years. But that was just the tip of the iceberg of what this young man has done in his 4 years. Greg's advice for future Winneconne students is to let them know that high school is a great place to explore. That students should get as involved as possible. Greg has obviously taken his own advice. In his 4 years here, he has participated in basketball, football, track, and golf. He was also in math club, drone club, pro, dare role models, Badger Boys. He was the class treasurer, and according to my wife, a rock star in student council. Here at Dandy. He volunteered for church picnics, fish fries, and he also helped out with our biddy ball program, which is our Saturday morning program for our young kids. He was also inducted this last weekend into the Eagle Scouts. It seems that if we had a club or a sport, he was involved. Being spread this thin, he never let any of his teachers, advisors, coaches, or teammates down. While doing all this and being a three-sport athlete, Greg still achieved a 3.97 GPA, which is impressive. When asked what phrase would best sum up your educational experience, Greg stated that your work will always show who you are. Obviously, your work has shown that you're a very gifted, driven, and soon to be very successful young man. Greg has done many great things here, but his best memory I also love. In a playoff game last year, we were up by 1 with 7 seconds left against some silly school down the road. Greg stole the inbound pass, and he sealed the win. Crowd went crazy. I had a mild heart attack. Definitely a I want to hug you moment. His worst memory ties in with how he got his 15 minutes of fame, which already happened. In a game against Waupun this year, he was dunked on very badly by Marcus Domax. It was all over social media, I mean, on everything. I felt bad for him. There was a moment where his teammates and I did shed some tears because we were laughing so hard at him. Greg put his brother Zach down as his most influential person. He credits Zach with his drive in the classroom, on the playing field, and also the main reason he wanted to finish his Eagle Scout. For his final project, Greg made a dog park here in Winneconne. I drive by it every day, and it is constantly in use. You have made something that will last forever in this community. Great job. Greg plans on attending the University of North Dakota State to pursue a degree in mechanical engineering with the hopes of working at Mercury Marine. If the last 4 years are any indication, I have no doubt you will achieve every goal you set out for. Please join me in congratulating Greg and his parents, Chris and Sue Morelski.
Hello, my name is Rochelle Shador. I'm one of the cheer coaches here at WHS, and I'm so pleased to be introducing the next senior tonight. I'm also very pleased that she gave me advanced warning that she would be listing me as a potential speaker on her NHS application, because even though I coach a performance sport, I hate being in front of a crowd. But my love for Katie is much stronger than my hate for public speaking, so here I am, and I'd like to invite Katie Butte to join me on stage. As she makes her way up here, I'm going to remind her to be careful, because she's apparently very accident prone. In fact, she thinks her 15 minutes of fame will come from wiping out and having it filmed and posted online to go viral. You made it up here okay, but be careful on the way down. Okay. All right. She also listed her funniest high school moment as when she was decorating the high school hallways for homecoming, and when trying to get down safely from the top of the lockers, she tumbled, fell, and landed herself with a nice butt bruise. So clearly she didn't learn much about grace and balance during her several years of being a flyer on the cheerleading team. Actually, Katie was a huge asset to our team, and her unrivaled effort and leadership in our program led her to being selected as our team captain this past winter. Over the last 4 years, she has had a huge impact on the team mentality in our program, helping to motivate and lead the team to earn 5 state titles, including back-to-back state champions the last 2 years, and 2 trips to the UCA National High School Cheer Championships. She also shared her talents and marvelous work ethic with numerous other groups and service projects throughout her time at WHS, including Student Council, Pro, Key Club, Book Club, Youth Frontiers, Math Club, Faith Formation, and the dance team. She's been such a great contributor to all of these groups and projects because, as I'm sure many of you know, when Katie does something, she gives it 110% of her effort. And she lives her life by the theme of a quote from famous children's author Roald Dahl. He said, "I began to realize how important it was to be an enthusiast in life. If you are interested in something, no matter what it is, go at it full speed. Embrace it with both arms. Hug it, love it, and above all, become passionate about it. Lukewarm is no good." Katie also applied this mentality to her academics, and when she finishes this semester with the same high quality of work that she's always produced, she'll be named one of the graduating class's valedictorians. And as a future valedictorian, the underclassmen should really listen to her words of advice, which are, don't stress too much, retakes are always there for you. Which is okay advice, I guess, but really knowing Katie, I think what she meant was, don't stress too much, retakes are always there for you. But really you should just work hard and do it right the first time. When asked about her favorite hobbies or special interests outside of school, Katie listed sleeping and eating good food as 2 of her top 5, which I can totally relate to and 100% understand with how little free time she has outside of her school, work, and extracurriculars. But all of this hard work and the well-deserved success she's earned throughout high school has paid off for Katie, as it helped her earn a place at UW-Madison next year, where she will pursue a degree in actuarial science, which Katie and Google have both told me will lead to a job as an actuary, assessing financial and insurance risk for companies. Katie says she will most miss her friends and teammates when she heads off to Madison next year. She lists several of her teachers, including Mr. Santry, Preister, and Mrs. Allen, as well as her other cheer coach Haley, as some of the WCSD staff that have had a significant impact on her life so far. But she credits her mother as the most influential person in her life, noting that she is glad to have learned from her how to be both kind and strong, even through times of hardship when it can be easier to be the opposite. And on that note, I'd like to invite Katie's parents, Jeff and Kathy Schuler, to stand and be recognized along with Katie as she receives her Senior National Honor Society graduation robes. Congratulations.
Hello again, I'm still Corey Coonan, and as far as I know, I still have a job here at the high school, teaching social studies. Peyton Kurtz, would you please join me on stage? Immensely gifted, but modest, outgoing, yet low-key, comfortable in her own skin. These are just a few thoughts that come to mind when I think of Peyton. high honor academic awards, academic letter winner, numerous academic bowl medals, and the Lady Wolves Soccer Award, Peyton has plenty of reasons to be proud, and yet she wears the cloak of success and achievement so well, so humbly. Peyton has been incredibly active in both the school and community. Some of this includes WHS Soccer, Creative Writing Club, Book Club, GSA, and theater. In addition, she has extensively volunteered her time with elder residents at Parkview Health Center, Winneconne Thrift and Gift, Youth Frontiers, Winneconne and Water City Soccer Camps, Oshkosh Youth Hockey Association, and Winneconne Concessions. When she's not volunteering her time, Peyton enjoys drawing, painting, reading, soccer, hockey, Marvel movies, and Netflix in general. During her sophomore year, I think Peyton also enjoyed puns. At the beginning of each day, she would come into my classroom and write a daily pun on the whiteboard. Though the daily puns and jokes are now provided by other students, this sophomore tradition was started by Peyton, and it continues today. Today's pun, by the way, what do you get, or joke, what do you get when you cross a rabbit with an insect? Bugs Bunny. That's on the board right now, and it's her fault. All right. And that seems to be how Peyton operates, doing the little things that make a positive difference in the lives of those around her. She's comfortable with her peers, and her peers are comfortable with her. When asked how she intends to leave her mark on the world, Peyton did not have a grandiose reply, but rather a simple yet profound answer. She said, I try to make a positive impact on someone every day, and hopefully that helps people and reminds them of some of the good things in the world. There's some serious wisdom in that reply. And for some more Peyton-esque wisdom, her secret to success is to work hard and pretend to know what I'm doing. It's obvious that high school has equipped Peyton with knowledge and skills that will serve her well going forward. Case in point, the most useful piece of information that she has learned in school, mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. There you go. Peyton says that her life philosophy is pretty well expressed by poet, singer, and civil rights activist Maya Angelou, who said, my mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. Peyton is on her way to thriving in style as she heads to the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse to study biology and genetic counseling. And she takes with her a wisdom and a heart beyond her years. Would her parents, Michael and Tammy Kurtz, please stand? And would you please join me in congratulating Ms. Peyton Kurtz?
My name is Mary Gogo. I'm another social studies teacher here at the high school. As I sat down to write this speech, I realized how little this student and I have in common. You might think that since the history teacher is up here, that the student must enjoy history. Wrong. They can't stand history. They are a member of the math club. I avoid math at all costs. She is a talented athlete, and I am one of the least coordinated people you will meet. And lastly, she is captain of the soccer team, a sport she loves and has played around the world. However, to be honest, until recently, it was the sport I hoped my boys wouldn't pick. Maddie Young, would you please join me up here? Some of us learn from books and teachers, but in the past 2 years that I have known Maddie, I have found that she learns experience, except in the case of mailboxes and embarrassing moments. One lesson would be when toilet papering. It is important to identify good hiding places to keep from being caught and avoid running into lakes. There is the plan for her 15 minutes of fame. Suing Walgreens ice packs for freezer burns she sustained last season. Maddie is always the girl who will find the humor even when things are not going her way. When Maddie was asked who is the most influential person in her life so far, she responded, "It isn't just one person, but a group of people." The first person I would like to note is the person Maddie says is by far the smartest person she knows and continually strives to be, her mom, Terry. Without her smarts and continuous support, Maddie doubts she would be up on this stage right now. Another group of people that played a role in Maddie's life are her childhood coaches, James Gentry, Kim Friedrich, and her dad, James. Each of them taught her lessons beyond the game of soccer, working hard, putting time in, and being a good teammate, and how to both win and lose graciously. These are not just lessons learned, but lessons that Maddie lives out each day. I see it in the classroom, where she continually tries to better understand the topic at hand, even if it is history. Or when she recaps a game, Maddie just doesn't highlight her achievements, but she talks about her teammates and the great plays they made. Then there's the fact that she is walking in the footsteps of her youth soccer coaches. I don't know if you all have seen a 5-year-old soccer game, but it is highly entertaining. It is enough to test the patience of the best parents or seasoned coach, but Maddie took it all in stride, teaching them the basics, cheering them on, offering support, and correcting their mistakes as they kicked the ball towards the wrong goal. After attending UW-Oshkosh, where she will study to become a nurse practitioner, Maddie noted that she was going to make her mark on the world by working with the Peace Corps. That's a noble goal. But I want you to know that you are already making your mark. Maddie, my boys don't call you Coach Maddie for nothing. It is because of the respect and bond you have built with them. And even though they are young, they practice what you taught them as their coach. Be kind, cheer for your teammates, congratulate your opponent, and always do your best. Jim and Terry, please stand and be recognized with your amazing daughter, Maddie.
Another social studies teacher, actually here at the high school, and I'm also the student council advisor. I'm especially nervous for this year because this is normally the kind of speech and stuff that I run by the person that I'm going to talk about, and kind of couldn't do that. Plus, I'm pretty sure she might tease me if I mess things up. So I'll just give it my best shot. And Rachel Bissett, would you please come forward? I'm so honored to speak on behalf of this amazing person. I truly don't know how she does it all and how she does it all with a smile on her face. I'm so impressed that she picked me to speak for her. She's definitely seen me at my best and at my crankiest. Angry Elf was a nickname that I acquired after a couple Jingle Book matches. And I have to give her credit for always reining in the Angry Elf side. I can't thank her enough for all the hard work she's put into student council and how much easier she makes life for everyone else. Even if it means picking up my kids from daycare, reorganizing the closet for the umpteenth time, writing out detailed plans for future members, earning high honors all 4 years, or being the only one who actually participated in my global studies class. She's on it 100%. I try to have my girls around Rachel as much as possible, as much as we can handle, so they can absorb this work ethic. Her grades are perfect. She's another of the class's valedictorians. And seriously, there's nothing she hasn't done for student council, her class as class president, NHS, the book club, Badger Girls, DARE, etc., etc. I have a word limit and I couldn't list all of your things. But more importantly than just work ethic, her positive attitude and sense of humor are contagious. Her quotes are words to live by. Take risks, they equal rewards. And studying the night before does work. I will not probably share those with my daughters. But one that I will, that I want my girls to know, is one that I think really represents you. Do what makes you happy, not what makes others happy. I think this works perfectly for Rachel because so much of what she does still does end up making so many other people happy. Some of my favorite Rachel-led initiatives have had to do with her ability to bring people together, like in our student council, volunteer group bonding events, and her project to fight social isolation here in Winneconne by promoting random acts of kindness and raising money for toys at the elementary school. She credits her grandma with being her role model, and I'd really love to meet this grandma. On top of all this, what I think I'll miss most is joking around with Rachel. However, I feel like you've always had me at a disadvantage. Like, she knows all about my crazy uncle, Javier. She happened to be working at Shopko when I came in, like, drooling after dental surgery, so that was awesome. She knows who really kissed who first when it comes to Mr. Beal and I. She's still not telling, and she's lucky enough to babysit my kids during an April blizzard the night before her ACTs, and somehow still rocked the ACTs. However, I did learn some dirt recently, including you have a hard time lighting candles. I saw that. And I didn't know she's a published poet. I haven't heard the story behind this, but I better. It has to be because she loves math. Here it goes. Multiply, addition, time test, homework. That's it. You have to tell the story. Okay. Oh, good. Perfect. I don't totally understand how this was published or where. 4th grade. But it gets a 3 for effort. I was wondering if it was maybe in 1st grade when you were awarded Artist of the Year, which is an accomplishment you mentioned, which is awesome. I also have a new idea for what I can bring to her graduation party, if I'm actually invited. She keeps telling me I'm not, but I'm coming. Cheesy potatoes. Apparently, she thinks she can eat an incredible amount and get 15 minutes of fame from that feat. I like it. Well, I would love to see this, for real. I doubt her fame will come from that. She has too much going for her, and I can't wait to hear all about all the fun she's having in Minnesota and the opportunities she'll provide to others. So if you could, please recognize Rachel, and if her parents, Danielle and Colleen Bissett, could also stand and be recognized.
Hi again. I'm Lisa Olson, still teaching here at Winneconne High School. Of all the things this student wishes she could relive in the past 18 years, it's her desire to go back and not wear a sweater vest in her 3rd grade picture. If that's her biggest regret so far, she's had a pretty good run for 18 years. Which fashionista could I possibly be talking about? Riley Asian, could you please join me on stage? So not only is Riley involved in NHS, but she's also been in Key Club, Student Council, again, the Best Club Ever Book Club. She also volunteers her time as a DARE role model, Youth Frontiers youth leader, and a summer school teacher assistant. Riley was a student in my freshman English class and junior Accelerated American Lit. I've also gotten to know Riley really well in the 4 years book club. It's been so fun to see her spunky and fun personality shine through her 4 years of high school. Sadly, her smile wasn't always apparent in all of her classes. According to Riley, one of the most important pieces of information she learned in school is that in calculus class, cry with someone is better than crying alone. I can laugh about that because it's math. Despite a few tears, Riley has a lot of great memories from while in high school. One of her favorite summer vacations was with Rachel Bissett. Riley road tripped with Rachel's family to North Carolina. According to Riley, we spent hours at the beach, explored the town, kicked butt at mini golf, and took lots of cute pictures. Riley hopes to get her 15 minutes of fame by wearing a really cute outfit and having someone take a picture and blog about her outfit. Riley's also really good at hula hooping, so if her fashion sense doesn't get her some notoriety, then perhaps her hula hooping skills will. At her 10-year class reunion, Riley hopes to have finished medical school and have just started her career as either a pediatrician or an OBGYN. By the time she's 28, she also hopes to be married. Clearly, Riley has some ambitious goals, and I know that with her hard work and determination, she will have no problem reaching them. Riley's had many wonderful people impact her life so far. According to Riley, my parents have been the most influential people in my life. My parents are always so supportive of my goals and dreams and always encourage me to do my best. My dad always says, do your best and forget the rest. And that is something I always remind myself of when I try too hard for perfection. They are both incredibly smart, and I look up to both of them. Riley's bucket list items are to change someone's life, eat frozen yogurt right from the frozen yogurt machine, which please call me if and when that happens, ride an elephant, and meet Harry Styles from One Direction. If she could give any advice to a Winneconne student, it would be to remember that your teachers really do want to help you. Don't be afraid to go to them to ask for help. Best wishes to you, Riley, at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities studying chemistry and pre-med. I know you have a very bright future in front of you. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing Riley Asian and her parents, Scott and Jenny Asian.
Okay, this is totally not terrifying, and I'm totally not going to throw up. So, here we go. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Ingalls, and I teach bio and AP Bio here at Winneconne High School. There are many times in life where you'll hear students say they look up to someone who is older than them. They look up to them because they were a great mentor or a great teacher, a great coach, but not often do you hear a teacher say they look up to one of their students. I look up to this student for her desire to do good every day, her work ethic, and her bubbly attitude. Sydney Hall, you're a truly phenomenal, genuine, kind-hearted human being. Sydney, will you please come forward and be recognized for your many talents? And I'm totally not going to cry. Okay. Sydney has been a part of student council, pro, and drama for 4 years. She's a phenomenal actress, and I'm really sad that I only got to see her perform twice. She has also been a part of the National Honor Society since her sophomore year. She took first place in the UWO speech competition and has lettered in drama, choir, and academics. After going back and forth for many days, Sydney will be attending UW Stevens Point in the fall. However, Sydney, I don't think you'll be able to live out your childhood dreams since they don't have professional dragonfly rescuer as an official major. I can also assure you that no one will ever witness your terrible parking abilities in college, since finding a parking spot on any university campus is actually impossible. I've had 3 parking tickets. Okay. On top of her academic and extracurricular achievements, Sydney has donated much of her time to doing community service at various places, including Winnebago County Teen Court, Care Partners Assisted Living Facility, and Church Youth Group. She has also donated her time to being an assistant summer school teacher, theater technician, and JV girls soccer assistant coach, and organizing a fundraiser for the Winneconne Police Department. Sydney, I hope you carry the most important thing that you learned in high school throughout the rest of your life. This was, never be afraid to ask for help if you don't understand something. I guarantee this has contributed to your success in many parts of your life. So please always keep asking for help when you need it. I'm so incredibly honored to have had Sydney in the first class that I've ever taught on my own. She's taught me so many wonderful things, and I truly aspire to be more like her. One of the quotes that means a lot to Sydney is from Mother Teresa. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Sydney, I assure you, I will never forget the good you have done. My students know I'm a crier. You're going to go out there and change the world. I would like to introduce the most influential people in Sydney's life. Would Scott and Nicole Hall please stand up to be recognized? By the way, if I ever have children, can you give me some parenting tips, please? You have taught Sydney to be brave, and you have taught her how to work hard, and I know you're extremely proud of her, and I'm proud of her too.
evening. My name is Chris LaBouse, and I teach business education. Almost forgot my name there. I teach business education here at the high school, and I have to say that I am really thrilled to be here tonight because this is such a talented group that I've had the privilege to not only teach most of you, but also get a chance to get to know you. And you have made my first 3 years at Winneconne High School fantastic. So thank you, you rock. Michaela Ronk, would you please come forward? Michaela is a young lady who wants to leave her mark on the world by hoping to touch the lives of others and pay everything forward in hopes that others may do the same. I hope I can give someone a reason to smile at least once every day. Michaela, you have managed to do that with me every single day. Michaela, as I call her, the queen of horses. She lives and breathes her horses, and I always tell her once in a while that that's good therapy for her as well. Michaela is one of those students that I have had a chance to get to know so much better. Take a look at how confident she has become and what she is capable of doing. She is her own person. She knows and stands up for herself and what is right. And she always tries to do her best each and every day. For the past 3 years, she has been editor or co-editor of the yearbook. Last year, the yearbook won a national award with her help. Michaela has been a part of the equestrian and track teams and FFA. She earned the title of Reserve National Champion Jumper at the Morgan Grand Nationals Horse Show and has assisted with various community service projects such as the Fox Valley Autism Society, contributing as president of the Winnebago County 4-H Horse and Pony Project, and assisting with the therapeutic riding program, Beaming. There are moments while having Michaela in class that I have seen various sides to her. For example, my having to call the emergency team when she was about to faint in the hallway directly outside my classroom. I'm pretty sure that had I not been there to catch her, that she probably would have fallen and cracked her head open. Her reply after all of that was, it was nothing too serious, I just had to faint quick. Or having her in accounting this year and seeing how meticulous she is when it came to her test scores, mastering the concepts, and getting the correct calculations. She would always remind me that I didn't need to check her tests because they already were 3s. And you know, she was right. They were always 3s. Michaela intends to attend next year UW Fox Valley, and then on to UW Oshkosh to major in finance and accounting. Her dream job is to become a financial advisor and to one day own and operate her own training and horse facility. But don't let that fool you. If she knew she wouldn't fail, she would run for political office. I guess that it kind of runs in the family. In closing, I think the following quote sums up what Michaela and how she has loved horses and how it has helped her as a student, and I think will help her in her endeavors in the future. A horse gallops with his lungs, perseveres with his heart, and wins with his character. Michaela, you're going to be great. I have no doubt that you're going to do well in whatever you decide to do. I am so proud of you. And will you please join me and Michaela in congratulating and Robert Ronk, along with being recognized with your wonderful daughter, Michaela.
I'm waiting for my Apple Watch to blow up with some heart rate, my pajama going on. My name's Heidi Saul. I'm a 6th grade science teacher at Winneconne Middle School. Obviously Winneconne, because that's where we're at. As a 6th grade teacher at the middle school, it's always an honor to be selected to speak for a senior student. It amazes me how much students change when they leave my classroom. They're usually much taller. Their baby faces have converted into faces of young men and women. But when I hear their names, I still picture them as a 6th grader. Although so much changes with students as they move up in the grades, some things do not. The student I have the honor of speaking for tonight is one of those students whose amazing qualities have stuck with her from the first time I met her. Would Maggie Van Langenberg please come forward? My 6th grade memory of Maggie is a smart, soft-spoken young lady with a big smile, who's always thinking of others and had a really, really long last name. Maggie hasn't changed one bit. She still continues to put others first and still has a really, really long last name. Unlike most of her peers, she won't be starting out her next school year setting up her dorm room and eyeing up college guys. Instead, she'll be spending 6 months traveling to Haiti, Jamaica, and Belize doing mission work and spreading the word of God. In fact, when she was asked in the questionnaire if she would relive any part of her life thus far, she didn't talk about a personal sports highlight or acing an exam. Instead, Maggie picked to relive any time in the past years she has spent in Haiti helping others and doing mission work. While in high school, Maggie has been part of Student Council, Key Club, Book Club, Spanish Honor Society, National Honor Society, and many, many more. She also has a few non-traditional accolades that she's proud of, such as not getting any detentions at all in all of her years of schooling. Like, what cold-hearted teacher would give Maggie a detention? Having only had school lunch 2 times in her entire 13 years, and never breaking a bone or needing stitches. Maggie has said that if she knew she could not fail, she would go skydiving. I've done that. Failure is not an option. And there's a backup parachute if things go wrong. Maggie said the most influential person in her life so far is her mom, because she has made so many sacrifices for Maggie and always supported her. Her mom is her biggest role model, as well as continues to make Maggie want to be the best person she can be. I'd say you've done a darn good job, Diane. I have a present for you, Maggie. Spoiler alert, it's a hammock. So no matter where you are in this big old world, you will always have a place to rest and recharge and continue to spread the word of God. Just like your favorite proverb quote, may you be clothed in strength and dignity and laugh without fear of the future. Would Paul and Diane Van Langenberg please stand and be honored with your wonderful daughter?
All right. My name is Craig Western, and a year ago this young lady said, you better be speaking for me next year. So, well, I'll teach you a little lesson. Don't always wish for what you ask for. Jake Perry, come on up. Jane and I first met when she graced my 7th grade classroom with about 10 million questions, and very rarely did she stay seated in her desk as she asked those questions. Later, I got to know her very well in cross country, basketball, and in track. Of course, if you know Jade, she's onto it, and this is like the worst kept secret. Everyone's like, it's a secret, and I'm pretty sure, even as I saw your mom like walk down with me to get closer to the stands. But a couple weeks ago, Jade approached me in the weight room, and she goes, hey coach, I don't know if you need this information or not, but a couple weeks ago I filled out this questionnaire, and I had to, answer a few questions, and I kind of want to change some of my answers, if you need them. Under my greatest accomplishments, I put some stuff, but if you could put shoveling the track to host a meet, I would like that. And if you could put that I rock some pretty sweet matching outfits for all my practices over the years, I mean, I'm pretty proud of that. So if you could put that in there, if you need it. So 13 seasons as Jay's coach has been quite an adventure with many accomplishments that many athletes have not been able to lay claim to. Jade will graduate with 10 varsity letters spread across 3 sports. And this past calendar year, Jade has been part of the 4x4 and 4x8 relay teams that went to state. In both relay teams, you can see their accomplishments out on the record boards as they set school records. This fall, she helped our girls cross-country team qualify for the Division II state meet. The girls ended their season with the best finish in school history. None of this would have been possible without Jade. Along the way, she also achieved academic all-state as an individual and was a member of our Division II academic cross-country champion team for all of Division II. We were the top GPA with like a 3.98. It was pretty incredible. Jade also had 7 all-conference honors to boot. It has been one of the most decorated careers as a student athlete in Winnet County history. It was the personal qualities of positive thinking, hard work, dedication, commitment, and the burning inside to be the best. I will forever be appreciative of everything she has given to me and to the program. I will miss your athletic.net analysis, your sassy comebacks, usually after some honest coaching when you say, "Coach, tell us how you really feel." Or for herself when things don't go well, and she goes, "Well, that was just about awesome." So we will also miss your quirky faults in all sports and maybe just in general in daily life. Probably the most notable coming in a closed basket at conference, for which I saw her 800 meters later, kind of almost in a bag of tears, headband around her neck, and I found out later that she couldn't get her warm-up pants off about 15 seconds before the race. So Jade's educational experience has been defined for her absolute love of high school. Jade says she will miss her classmates, teachers, and all the fun high school moments. Jade's best memory comes at my expense a year ago at state track. When I went down, I thought, thank God, after 3 months of having a newborn, I said, I'm going to get some sleep. This is going to be fantastic. Well, at 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, there's still some girls cackling outside of my room because my window was open and their window was adjacent to mine. We will not talk about what was spoken, but they had fun. I will never speak about what was spoken to any of them either. They don't want to know, but I know. Too much. All right, I should end there. Despite her love for all our teachers, her advice to future students is, unless you're a straight-up genius or really like crime, maybe don't take calculus unless you need it. To follow it up, her secret to success is retakes. So Mr. Van Camp must know a little bit about that. She goes, it's as easy as that. Without that, it would be real bad. Jade will take her athletic and academic talents to Concordia St. Paul, where she'll be a member of their cross-country and track teams. She will major in biology with an emphasis in exercise science with the hopes to be a chiropractor. As you embark on your journey, after school, remember your favorite quote by John Wooden. Things turn out best for people that make the best of the way things turn out. I would like her parents, Jake and Jamie Perry, to stand and be recognized as we congratulate Jade Perry on her induction to national honors.
Hi, my name is Tim Phillips. I'm the director of the Winnet County Community Arts Center here at this beautiful facility. And, I'm honored to be given the opportunity of presenting our next student. This person is extremely dedicated, respectful, eager to learn, and a pure joy to work with. She's been involved in all 4 of the high school drama and musical theater productions the past 2 years in a behind-the-scenes capacity. And now it's time for Sydney Zander to come up and take the stage in the lights. During her 4 years at Winnet County High School, Sydney participated in academic decathlon, academic bowl, theater tech crew at the soundboard, National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, Peers Reaching Out, Student Council, Key Club, Book Club, and the GSA. She has received numerous awards and honors, including academic awards, 3rd place 2 sections at Locals Academic Decathlon, Second place, 3 sections at Regionals Academic Decathlon. 2 years as State Academic Decathlon alternate, and 1 year on the State Academic Decathlon team. Through all of her accomplishments, she is most proud of having been a part of the State Academic Decathlon team for the past 3 years. The first year was most notable, as it was the first decathlon team to make it to state in Winneconne's history. Several teachers have made an impact on Sydney's life throughout her education here. A special shout out goes to Mrs. Wellens. Sydney says, academic decathlon has been one of the best experiences of my high school career, and it's mostly thanks to Mrs. Wellens. She is truly the team's biggest fan. The most important thing that I've learned from her is to always try to stay positive, because somehow she manages to always look on the bright side and find something to be happy about. Sydney, I can attest that you have implemented this quality in your life as well in every day that I've seen you. Sydney's community service activities consist of serving as a small group leader for Youth Frontiers, a volunteer at the Oshkosh Humane Society, Jubracosa Arts Academy, Wreaths Across America. And this year she participated in concessions, bingo at the Senior Citizens Home, organizing storage space at the Christine Ann Center, and the Sophomore Quarterly Focus Group. She is also a part of Rudy's Project. In her spare time, how in the world do you find any? She's enjoying reading, listening to music, going to concerts, spending time with friends, and she also enjoys learning more about her area of interest, space science. In Sydney's words, through National Honor Society, I've learned how rewarding community service can be, both for myself and others in the community. I learned that it is always important to give back to the community when you can. Community service is more than just a graduation requirement. Having empathy for other people and helping out when possible is an important life skill. Words of wisdom that Sydney would like to leave to future Winneconne students is, don't worry too much about what other people think of you. And don't worry about fitting in. Just be yourself. Sydney, I encourage you to take heed of your own advice as you embark on the next level of your education. Sydney will be attending the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, where she intends to major in astronomy. Her dream job is to work at an organization such as NASA. Reading the words of your favorite quote from Vincent van Gogh, I know nothing with any certainty, but the sight of the stars makes me dream. I'm confident with your dedication and drive, you have what it takes to attain your dreams, Sydney. Bill and Jill Zander, congratulations on an outstanding job of raising such a fine young lady. Please stand and be recognized with Sydney as we congratulate her.
Good evening. My name is Brad Thomas, and I am a science and engineering teacher here at the high school. A couple things I want to lead into about this individual. If you see this individual coming from a distance, you will notice they have quite a stride or a strut, because they're always walking with a purpose, a passion. This person also has achieved a certain nickname from his teammates. Sniffles. Would Alex Mustavish please come forward? Do you notice the strut, the very determination to come across the stage with an even pace? I'm truly honored, though, to be able to present this award to this individual. He has grown into a wonderful young man that I've had the pleasure of teaching and coaching these past 2 years with golf. Here are some of his accomplishments that I thought were quite astounding. Third team academic all-state, first team all-academic state golf as an individual. He also earned the Works Award for his cross-country efforts. I'm sure that has something to do with his determination, his effort, his work ethic within the program. When asked what you will miss most about your time here at WHS, Alex commented, the friends and faculty that make Winneconne so special. And his experience here has been one of a kind, he has said. Don't worry, Alex, you're always a wolf. Whenever you need something, just ask. Alex plans to attend Marquette University to get a degree in finance. Underclassmen, heed his words. It sounds cliche, but he stands behind them. Get involved. If you're involved, you make new friends, and you improve your relationships with your current friends. How is he going to leave his mark on the world? He's going to work hard, achieve goals and aspirations for his career, and serve his community. Very, very great aspirations, Alex. A couple things you might not know about him, which I didn't either. They have a beef farm he lives on. Do you do the chores, Alex?
Occasionally.
Maybe when you need a new golf club occasionally?
No comment.
Bucket list. And please, if you need somebody else to go along to fill this bucket list, I will be there. To golf at certain destinations, Augusta and in Scotland. Last but not least, if you missed a certain basketball game a few years ago, Alex was having some issues with his uniform. His story was, since he was not very good compared to everybody else, he got one of the last uniforms. And as you can see by his build, he is definitely not a double XL. Okay? He did get into a game. He was trying to get open a few times, but he just couldn't handle the ball because he was holding his pants up with his hands. Alex, that was a great night. I was at the scorer's table watching it. I'm going, how is he going to shoot the ball if they throw it to him? But you kept them up. Kept them up. Alex was asked to name the most influential person in his life. He chose his brother, Michael, because he can count on him to always be there as a role model in academics and life. The traits of putting others first and being confident in who you are what he admires most of his brother. Would Alex's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Mustalish, please stand and be recognized? In closing, Alex, took me a little bit of thought on this one, but I hope you run with this. Step up to the tee box of life. Take aim at your target. Launch that perfect draw into the middle of the fairway. Approach your goals with conviction and confidence, and you will be on par for success. Thank you for allowing me to present this to you. Best of luck with your future endeavors. Continued success.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nathan Riff, head football coach, and I would like to congratulate all the National Honor Society inductees and parents. I would also like to thank all the great teachers here today. I'm honored to announce the next inductee who has been able to balance being a student and athlete at the very highest level. At this time, would Jake Gilmet please take the stage. Most times I call him, he doesn't answer. It's like 3 times, it's like cold calling for a sales call. He's He's always busy. Doesn't want to answer any questions about college. I don't feel left out, that's all right. Jake has been involved in football, baseball, and track. Jake also participated in helping at the Christine Ann Center and helping the residents at Parkview. Jake said during these activities through National Honor Society, I have learned that I truly enjoy positively affecting people's lives. During Jake's 4 years of football, I've witnessed what hard work, discipline, and commitment can create. I watched an undersized but above average athlete as a junior turn into one of the best players on our team and in the entire conference. Jake was voted to the WSCA All-Star Game, voted MVP by his teammates, unanimous first team athlete offensively, unanimous first team defensive back, and ECC defensive back of the year. When asked, what is your life's accomplishment of which you feel proudest so far, Jake answered all the accolades that we earned during my senior year of football. People have no idea how hard we worked during the season and how hard we prepared in the summer. What makes me proud of this response is the way he views it. It's all about we. And that pretty much sums up Jake Ullman. He puts others in front of himself, so that's what's going to make him successful in life. He's a servant leader. Jake plans on attending UW-Stevens Point to pursue a degree in the health field. He would like to leave his mark on the world by changing lives, making life easier and more enjoyable for people. When asked his backup plan, if he knew he could not fail, is to open a froyo shop. I asked my wife what that was. Was it frozen yogurt or something? You got one of those in Winnicott? Good luck, right? On his bucket list is to ride a horse at sunset on the beach. And listen to, what was that, Halsey? Who's that? Is it go to Halsey and then ride with her on the beach? Is that what you meant? What makes Jake so successful and not afraid to fail is the strong bond he has with his family. This was evident to me in week 5 when we played Berlin and Jake ran in a 2-point conversion to help us win the game by 1 point. I was helped from Harry, I think he's here, right? Harry, where you at? Yeah. Harry called that play. On Sunday, as a team, we take some time to reflect on the previous game. We write down questions for the players to answer. We ask players questions about the game. One of the questions we asked the players was what their favorite moment of the game was. And as you go home as a coach, you read the answers, you kind of get a pulse of what the team thought of the last week's game, how they're feeling. And that's kind of your paycheck as a coach. As you read some of these, you just get it that the kids get what's going on. As I get to Jake's favorite moment in the game, could have been the biggest play of the game, would be his best moment, but it wasn't. It was seeing and celebrating with his family after the game on the field. When asked who is the most influential person in his life, he replied with, my father, Dan Ullman. There is no doubt in my mind that he is the best father in the world. He is the man I want to be. I doubt I'll ever be able to become the man he is, but I strive to be as much like him as possible. At this time, please join me in congratulating Jake and his parents, Dan and Kelly Ullman.
As I said before, I'm Rochelle. I'm one of the cheer coaches here, and as I said before, not a big fan of doing this stuff. But I will always say yes when asked to introduce one of my amazing seniors at the NHS ceremony. Not only because they're such great people who deserve the recognition, but also because it's an honor to know that you've had a positive impact on someone's life. But now that I've been given the awesome responsibility of introducing 2 seniors this year who both know I don't like public speaking, I'm starting to think that maybe they're banding together against me to seek revenge for all of the times I said one more time and lied. Really though, I can't imagine this next senior being vindictive in that way because she is one of the most genuine and kind people I've ever met. Liliana Fox, please come join me on stage. Liliana truly does spread kindness and joy to everyone around her. In fact, she describes her life philosophy with this quote about kindness from Mother Teresa. Let no one ever come to you without leaving better and happier. Be the living expression of God's kindness. Kindness in your face, kindness in your eyes, kindness in your smile. I know the coaches and athletes in the cheer program are definitely being left better and happier having had Liliana as a part of our program. She may seem quiet and reserved, but I can assure you she is strong in body, mind, and work ethic. Her passion for what she loves is evident, and her love for cheer helped our team reach new heights during the last 4 years, with the blood, sweat, and tears of practice translating into trophies and accomplishments, thanks in great part to Liliana's hard work and the strong example she set for her teammates. Liliana also shared her talents with other groups and projects at WHS, including the art department, band, and the blood drive. Her altruism doesn't stop at the doors of WHS, though, as she's also lent a helping hand in countless service projects throughout the community, including work with the food pantry, public library, her church, and the Christine Ann Center. Looking back over her time in the Winneconne school system, Liliana says her favorite hobbies included going to concerts, shopping, photography, and art. She says her favorite memory from high school was getting to go to nationals in Florida with her cheer team, and she also loved the music department trip to New York. She thanked some of her teachers, including Mr. Molitor, Mrs. Bretthauer, Mr. Snyder, and Mrs. Kaiser, for sharing their passions with her and helping shape her into the person she is today. Looking forward to her time after graduation, Liliana is planning to attend the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh and hopes to continue to positively impact the lives of those in need after she earns a degree in social work. She also wants to adopt all of the animals, take some time for travel, and watch lots of Netflix. As she starts her transition towards those future goals, Liliana knows she will miss the cheer team and seeing her best friends every day, and is thankful for her parents, who have always encouraged her to be the best she can while spreading love and kindness everywhere she goes. I'd like to invite her parents, Tammy and Jason Fox, to please stand and be recognized along with Liliana as she receives her Senior National Honor Society graduation cords. Congratulations.
Any students out there have a similar experience at some point in their life? Know that feeling? Yes, Sydney Thomas, will you please join me? I do think I tweaked my neck. I should have practiced that first. Get an old head or get a stunt double, I'm not sure. All right, so what was that all about? Let's drift back in time. Sydney was a junior, and she gave this wonderful speech at volleyball senior night. Very thoughtful, eloquent speech, big crowd. The senior send-off can be a real mix of emotions, laughter, tears. So, well, after the speeches were given, the team went running back to the locker room so they could come make their grand entrance in the music, etc. But on the run into the locker room, Sydney got tripped by a teammate as she was going under the volleyball net. She was taken out right at mid-court, and with the new hole in her warm-up pants, she got up laughing to the locker room. Now, she sported those warm-up pants the remainder of that year, then again her senior year. Then there was the track meet in Berlin. A wet discus ring didn't stop Sydney from trying to PR. Well, she didn't quite make the throw, or she didn't quite make it through a full spin before wiping out. But on her second attempt, she made a good mark, and she left the circle with tears of laughter. So I've been fortunate to have Sydney in my pre-calculus class and calculus class this year. Now, pause on the speech. I feel like Calc's getting roasted so far today, so I just want to put it out there. It can be a fun class, and to all my Calc students, I'm sorry. I really mean that. I love you. All right, where was I? So I shared those two stories about Sydney for two reasons. One, I felt obligated to see how red in the face it gets Sydney up front volleyball. And two, this great carefree attitude of laughing it off is one of the many characteristics that makes Sydney who she is. Now, Sydney, when I think of you, there's one thing that jumps out to me, and that's the presence you bring. So I want all underclassmen to make sure you hear this part because it's really one key to happiness. When I speak of Sydney's presence, I speak of this relaxed, self-assured demeanor she leads every aspect of her life with. Well, how does one do that? Well, this comes from her confidence and comfort in who she is. That's the key. Become what you want to be and be comfortable in who you are. She is truly special. A great intellect with great insight and a person that makes decisions based on what she sees as the right choice. rather than being driven by some outside factors. She stands up for herself. I see this in my class and how she carries herself. Reduced stress and more happiness as a result of focusing on what's best for her rather than worrying about what others might think. I know this independence will guide you positively throughout your life. In fact, Sydney's senior questionnaire reaffirmed my perception of her maturity, insightfulness, and character. There was a desire to be content with life, letting things come and go. And I love the quote you chose. Quote, "It is not our abilities that show what we truly are, it is our choices." Now this rings true with Sydney's involvement. A three-sport athlete, Gallon grad, and making significant contributions to the NHS project Paint the Park her freshman year, and again the kindness challenges this year. She also put in valued hours volunteering at the nursing home, lighting up the faces of the residents, and taking on numerous tasks at the Christine Ann Center. These experiences help Sydney, as she says, quote, "realize just how much I enjoy giving back to my community that has given so much to me." In closing, Sydney, I know you've made a great choice going to MSOE and becoming an electrical engineer. I really think that's a great fit. And I wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors. So would Andy and Corey Thomas please stand and join me in recognizing Sydney and her parents.
Well, that was definitely a hard act to follow, and I certainly won't attempt it. Good evening. My name is Mrs. Williams, and after 18 years here, I have not moved up a grade. Yes, I am still in first grade and loving it. Many little girls dream about one day becoming a princess, just like this one did. Perhaps it's the influence of the dreamy Disney channels, or even the Hallmark Channel. But eventually they discover that their parents aren't a king and a queen. They most likely won't find a prince here in Winneconne, and kissing frogs is just plain gross. So in the realistic parallel world, when those little girls grow up, some of them choose a different, yet still magical path and become a teacher, which really isn't a far cry from reality. See, you still have to answer to a hierarchy of power. You do inherit your own palace space. You reign over numerous followers, deal with plenty of jokers and jesters, and have a great deal amount of responsibility. And just in case you still want a crown, I borrowed one from Mr. Phillips. Like myself, this student has chosen a path to become an educator, and what an honor it is here for me tonight to recognize one of my own very first grade students. Even from first grade on, she has displayed determination, great strength of character, dedication, and a caring nature. Caitlin Frederick, would you please join me? Caitlin will be attending UW-Stevens Point this fall, where she intends to pursue her teaching career by majoring in elementary education and minoring in Spanish. Like many other NHS members, Caitlin has kept quite busy during her years here in Winneconne. Through numerous activities, sports, and personal achievements. Caitlin has participated in Student Council for 4 years, National Honor Society for 3 years, Pro for 3 years, Youth Frontier for 2 years, Spanish Honor Society, and FFA. Her extracurricular sports activities include soccer, basketball, and volleyball. It is in sports that Caitlin has received the most recognition. She was chosen as captain in volleyball for 1 year and basketball for 2. In soccer, where Caitlin really excels, she was team captain for 1 year, named MVP for 2 years, twice named unanimous first team all-conference player, runner-up in state, co-player of the year, and Wisconsin Dells Player of the Week. Obviously, Caitlin is an outstanding soccer player, and her abilities have not gone unnoticed, since she will also play on the UW-Stevens Point women's soccer team. This accomplishment is the one Caitlin is proud of so far in her life. One of her favorite quotes was spoken by a famous soccer player, Pele, who describes her own devotion to athletics and her life in general. The more difficult the victory, the greater the happiness in winning. To help in her community, Caitlin has volunteered at Parkview Health Center, rang bells for the Salvation Army, organized a shoe drive for the Christine Ann Center, and volunteered for Top Soccer, where she taught kids with disabilities how to play soccer. When she has any free time, Caitlin likes to go hunting, spend time with family and friends, and just being outdoors. Caitlin's favorite summer adventure was going to Blaine, Minnesota with her soccer team club for a week-long tournament for the past 2 summers. Her favorite trip in school was not the one we took in first grade, but rather going to the courthouse and talking to the inmates. Perhaps that's the teacher character in you because, like children, they too need to be reminded of the importance of rules and how to play nicely with others. Caitlin says the most useful piece of information she learned in school was to ask for help when you need it, and she intends to leave her mark on the world by doing just that, helping others, a simple act that makes a world of difference. Caitlin will miss French fry Mondays with all her friends, of course, but will cherish the memories and relationships that she has made over the years, especially from basketball, volleyball, and soccer. She will also miss the coaches who have had a significant impact on her, Mr. Western, Miss Fleece, and Miss Riff. Not only have they helped Caitlin to grow as an athlete, but also as a person, because they were excellent role models who gave knowledgeable advice, built her confidence, and helped guide her success. If Caitlin could relive one moment from her life, it would be going to St. Sebastian, Spain to play soccer. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience where Caitlin got to meet many people and play against teams from all over the world. Caitlin recognizes her parents as the most influential people in her life. Not only have they raised her to be kind and caring, they have been her biggest supporters. They've taught her to fight through adversity and tough times. Their never-ending belief in her has helped to grow her confidence, not only in sports and school, but in life in general. Would Caitlin's parents, Mark and Kim Frederick, please stand and be recognized, along with your wonderful daughter and soon-to-be teacher, Caitlin. Thank you.
One of the cheerleading coaches. After reading this student's bio, I am very excited and honored to introduce her, knowing that cheerleading has had such a positive impact on her life. Bailey Watson, please come on up. Many of her favorite memories and accomplishments involve cheerleading, including making the varsity team this year and competing with us at state and nationals. Bailey's smile is always shining bright when she's on the cheer mats, and we'll miss her positivity and smiles dearly. Bailey says she will most miss cheerleading and seeing her friends every day, and lists several of her favorite teachers, including Mrs. Olson, Mrs. Ron, Mr. Gilman, and of course, Coach Rochelle, as having made a positive impact on her life so far. The most important information she has learned at school is that math isn't meant to give you the facts, but how to solve the problems. Bailey is a very creative individual. She is full of imagination. She has put those qualities to good use in her art, creative writing class, Dungeons and Dragons Club, tap dancing, and apparently the infamous book club. When she isn't at cheer practice, drawing, tap dancing, or gaming, she has spent time volunteering at the library, helping out with summer school classes, and at the Christine Ann Center. Bailey is always genuine and she is always herself. She says she understands how she works and uses it to do her best. I believe these qualities will help you be successful at UW Green Bay. Bailey plans to study psychology and marine biology. She aspires to someday earn a doctorate degree in marine biology. Not only that, she has big dreams. She hopes to find a cat that actually likes to cuddle. Although she used to dream of being a dolphin trainer, I think she will find great success with psychology, marine biology, and her cuddling cat. She also finds time to watch Doctor Who and describes her life philosophy by her favorite quote from the show, which reads, "The way I see it, every life is a pile of good things and bad things. The good things don't always soften the bad things, but vice versa, the bad things don't necessarily spoil the good things and make them unimportant." Bailey is lucky to have many important things in her life, including her parents, who she says have been the most influential people in her life. She is very thankful for their endless support and guidance. I know you both have enjoyed watching Bailey develop her leadership skills on the team and grow as an individual in cheerleading and in life. I am also very proud of her. At this time, I invite Dale and Melissa Watson to please stand and be recognized along with her as she receives her Senior National Honor Society graduation.
Good evening, I'm Lisa Hutchinson, and I love to teach terrified people. I teach the speech classes here at Winneconne High School. It's a blast to have every freshman in my freshman speech class, and then to have so many of them again as seniors, and to see how they have conquered their fears. And this senior is no different, and I'm so excited to introduce her to you. Elizabeth Simon, if you could please come to the stage, AKA Ellie. I fully intend to give a speech tonight that honors her achievements, but first I'm going to focus on the fact that she is often undecided. Several days into most speech units, as a freshman and again as a senior, she'd proclaim, "I can't think of a topic. I still can't think of a topic." And it would come down to the wire, and then without fail, Ellie would submit a well-written outline that barely missed a detail, and trust me, I would comb through it trying to find the gaps so I would teach her to pace herself. But to no avail. She's awesome. She likes to say, "I don't procrastinate, I just wait until the last minute so that I am older and therefore wiser." But Ellie, you must have forgotten that for your special occasion speech last semester, you awarded yourself Best Procrastinator. That is the award she gave herself. So it's also her college and career choices as well that she has a tough time deciding. Although I saw the poster update out there, and she has decided on Rip It. Career choice, no idea, but she is going to rip it. And at this point, I'm going to stop teasing her about her indecisiveness, and instead, I am going to celebrate what she has decided to do. Ellie has decided to help her community and bring positive energy to those around her. She has volunteered with the National Youth Outing, where she cleaned and painted homes in New Orleans. Locally, she has volunteered with Jingle Book Bash, numerous athletic camps, and bell ringing for the Salvation Army, just to name a few. Like someone said earlier, we have a word limit. Ellie has decided to be honest and respectful. Even though she said her complete honesty is not admired by all, it is more important to show and earn respect than to worry about acceptance. Ellie has decided to get out of her comfort zone because it has led to wonderful and surprising accomplishments, such as swimming with eels, dissecting a squid with her bare hands, and joining new sports and clubs that kept her involved in the community. She would advise underclassmen to challenge themselves to embrace high school and to work with new groups of people on projects that make them feel proud for taking risks. Ellie has decided to be adventurous. Items on her bucket list include skydiving, learning to surf, traveling to see the 7 wonders of the world, and hunting moose, grizzly bear, and yes, our beloved mascot, wolves. It said that. Ellie treasures the outdoor adventures she has gone on with her family, not to mention the virtual adventures she has gone on when gaming with her brother. Yes, Ellie's a gamer. To conclude, Ellie has decided she has had a rewarding educational experience since coming here her freshman year. She said, "While the workload and responsibilities increased every year, so did the amount of fun that I found myself having in every class and in every sport." Ellie, I am thrilled that you are my topic for this evening. You have and will continue to make WHS very proud that you are a part of this wolf pack. Regardless of whatever you decide to do, what you do know is that God will faithfully guide you. Mr. and Mrs. Jack and Angie Simon, please stand and be recognized to congratulate Ellie Simon.
All right, I'm really nervous right now. This is my first time, so bear with me. And it's 8:30, I have not eaten yet, and I really want a piece of that cake out there. So bear with me. My name is Rachel Riff, and I am an elementary teacher here, and I'm a JV basketball coach as well. As a teacher and coach, I may be a little biased, but I have one of the best jobs in the world. I have the greatest opportunity to build relationships with so many amazing children and parents. For my first time being chosen to speak, I could not think of a better person to speak on behalf of. I have the utmost admiration for the student athlete. She makes those around her better just for knowing her. Evelyn Burns, I would be so honored to have you come up here and join me. It is so bright up here. Crazy bright. When I met Evelyn 4 years ago, she came into the gym shy and quiet, but ready to prove to me the player that she was. Over the years, Evelyn has proven to me and others around her that she is not shy or quiet. On away games, she loves to showcase her singing abilities and her daredevilish behavior to do things most people would not even think of doing. And I'm not going to tell you. Everyone who knows her knows what I'm talking about. I always hear her and her teammates laughing and enjoying each other's company. Evelyn has definitely made outstanding choices in the people she surrounds herself with. At our senior night, she chose the color yellow to represent her. I looked up what yellow represents, and without a doubt, it is 100% true of her. Yellow is the most luminous of all the colors of the spectrum. It is the color that captures our attention more than any other color. Yellow is also the color of happiness, optimism, of enlightenment and creativity, sunshine, and spring, which hopefully will be coming soon. With all of this being true, Evelyn will show all these qualities while she attends the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, majoring in business management. Thinking of her being in the management position someday does not surprise me, nor should it if you know her. One of her goals is to run a nonprofit that helps people in need. She has held many leadership positions for her school, such as class vice president, Key Club bulletin board editor, and team captain for basketball and softball, and so much more. Evelyn Burns has left her mark here in Winneconne through a multitude of activities and personal achievements. She is on high honor roll, participates in DARE Role Model Program, Youth Frontiers, kids sports camps, and summer school. Evelyn recognizes her father as the most influential person in her life. Her dad has helped her become the athlete and student she is today, and has taught her to work hard at everything she does. Travis, you have an amazing daughter. I know you are proud of everything she has done up to this point and all the endless possibilities she has for herself in the future. Would Travis Burns please stand up to be recognized? Abby, I leave this to you. There are people in this world that will try to knock you down, tell you you can't do something or that you're not good enough. Tears will be shed, but always remember that to be that yellow ray of sunshine, stay strong, believe in yourself, and know that you are capable of achieving anything you put your mind to. Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Jim Melby, and it's a great honor to be the 7,000th speaker tonight. I teach agriculture at the high school and middle school as well. I want to make sure that I take the time to declare that I really do love teaching. So don't read into this the wrong way. But sometimes as a teacher, it's important to really just get away. So Mrs. Melby and I took a rare trip 3 years ago. We left our own children with some random grandparents, hopped on a plane, and flew to Phoenix. At that point, we rented a car and drove that beautiful 4-hour drive through the remote and beautiful Grand Canyon. There it was, taking in the most spectacular scenery that our country has to offer, 1,714 miles from Winneconne. And as we walked west along the south rim of the Grand Canyon, I gazed to the right to take in the view, and I hear, "Hey, Mr. Melby." front of me is Hunter Wright from my Agriculture and Agri-Science class. Hunter, please come forward at this time. I could have pretended to be some English deficient Norwegian tourist and just kept walking. But Hunter's just so dang likable. I gladly stopped to talk with him and his family for quite a while. Over the past 4 years, Hunter and I have surely done quite a lot of talking, mostly about baseball. He's a rare person who has a passion for baseball that's almost as great as mine. While baseball dominates our conversations, our other talks have been mostly about outdoorsy topics. Hunter's other great passions include snowmobiling and hunting. Currently, he's enrolled in my wildlife fish and forestry management class and was recently certified as a legal trapper in the state of Wisconsin. So if you have any critters in your backyard, he's your guy. Earlier this year, he also used his attention to detail, which is very pure, and put together, in his whitetail deer passion, put together a fantastic antler mount in the class that was purely the best one done in the whole class. And if you know Hunter, you know that's pretty normal. As a person, Hunter needs to do it right, and he needs to do the right thing. As a student athlete at WHS, Hunter has shined. He's most proud to have been selected as a baseball team captain in the first team all-conference. Both fantastic accomplishments. Off the diamond, he's also been involved in pro, chess club, and math club. His community service hours have included working at the Winneconne Thrift and Gift, the Christine Ann Center, Carp Fest, North of the Lakes, Chicken Fun Night, and much more. When Hunter was asked who was the most influential person in his life, he said, "My dad," because he's a hard worker and he's very self-motivated. He never makes excuses. The apple doesn't fall very far from the tree. When Hunter was asked what summer or school break memories stood out to him, he said, and I quote, "When my family traveled to Las Vegas and also went to see the Grand Canyon, I loved traveling, and it was even better to spend that time with my family and see Mr. Nelly." End quote was, I'm not sure the end quote goes. By the time he reached his 10-year reunion, he hopes to have graduated and be debt-free, and that would be a tremendous accomplishment. When asked what he would do if he couldn't fail, this finance-minded young man said, "I would buy a lottery ticket, and as seeing as I couldn't fail, I would win the jackpot." And if that happens, keep me in mind. Hunter plans to attend UW Oshkosh and major in business, and he will undoubtedly be successful. To help keep him on track for success at UW Oshkosh, he should remember to live by a quote from his longtime baseball coach, Randy Wilkie. "You get what you earn, put in the time." I have no doubt that you will continue to put in the time, Hunter. It's my pleasure to ask Spencer and Tammy Wright to stand up to be recognized as we present Hunter with his senior recognition.
Well, we did it. You made it. Mr. Phillips, can I get the house lights up just a little bit? Please. Whoa, we're live. Time to go. All right, at this point, I would like senior NHS members to stand up. We've been clapping all night. We've been clapping for you, we clap for parents, we clap for teachers. I want you to turn around, and I want you to find somebody and make eye contact for them and clap for them. Probably parents or teachers, people who've been sitting here for hours. Let's try that again. Seniors, give these people who are here a round of applause, please. All right, and at this time, for the last time, as senior NHS members together, please exit stage left and go get your picture taken. And congratulations. And again, to everyone who's made this night possible, thank you so much for all of your support and encouragement for not only students, but teachers and staff in this building. Now we will announce the officers for next year.
So I have the honor of doing that. Next year, serving as our public relations officer, we have Gavin Cannell. Our service officer as Jed Schlosser. Our secretary is Marianne Reindel. Our Vice President as Jack Barrich. And our President as Isabella Goland. If you could all please join us on stage for a picture. This otherwise concludes our inductions and senior ceremony, and thank you again. Feel free to grab any dessert that you would like to take with you on the way home, please. And also, if you're interested in purchasing any of the flowers that were on the tables, Mr. Meldy will be out by the Commons. Sophomore cleanup crew, you can find Austin Vonderlo